Morning. It's Saturday, September 18th. And there is something going on in this country that I have never seen before. I have never seen an incident like this. And I'm talking about the disappearance of a young lady who lived in Florida by the name of Gabby Petito and her boyfriend, Brian Laudrie. Gabby and Brian took off on a trip to the West Coast. They were specifically going to visit several national parks out west in Utah and in Wyoming. Now, Gabby was in the process of creating a website to use the website to show people, her friends and family, how wonderful the trip was. And during her travels, she kept in constant contact with her family. But that contact ended abruptly in the end of August. In fact, the police in Moab, Utah, had an encounter with Brian and Gabby on August 12th. Police described the encounter as an altercation, but when they got into it further, it really was a fight. It was a physical fight following an argument. I guess charges could have been issued, but the couple said they were in love and they were going to get married, and please, they didn't want anybody charged with the crime, and it was just one of those things. And the police acquiesced to that request. They did not charge them or detain them or do anything like that. But the officer did suggest that the couple separate for the night and cool off. And he described Gabby as being confused and emotional. And he said later on, after evaluating the totality of the circumstances, I don't believe that the situation escalated to the level of a domestic assault. As much of that as a mental health crisis. That's what he wrote in the report. And no charges were filed. And he also said the couple had their own cell phones in case of an emergency. And police showed body cam footage of Gabby, and she was kind of talking, but she did look a little bit out of it and a little bit perturbed. She was standing there with her hands on her hips and muttering something. Then, according to police, their last contact with Gabby, the family's last contact with Gabby, was during the last week of August. And before that communication, Gabby is believed to have been in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. According to the Petito family attorney, the family's last communication with Gabby was on August 30th. It was obviously a text message, but they do not believe that Gabby sent it because the family said they did not believe it was her writing. Now, I can believe that. All of us have our own style. So now this is where the story gets really weird. On September 1st, Brian Laudrie, returned to his home in Northport, Florida, where his parents also live. But no Gabby. She was not there. She was not seen. But her white car was found on the premises. The police processed it. There was some material in there, but they're not stating what it was. 10 days later, Petito's family, who live in New York, reported her missing on Saturday evening to the Suffolk County, New York Police Department. And the Northport authorities went to Laudrie's home on Saturday night asking to speak to him and his family. But the police said, we were essentially handed information for their attorney. That's what the police said. And that's all they got from the Laudrie family. And that's what makes this case so absolutely insane, crazy. Here's the boyfriend, returns home with her car, to his house, and he will not speak or say a word about anything that happened on this trip. And he hired an attorney immediately. I ask you, has you or anybody else out there ever heard of an episode like this, where you are putting yourself in the limelight by not speaking, not telling anybody where your supposed fiance is when you and she were traveling out west for 2 months, and you return home without her, without saying that she ran away from me, she did this, we did that, whatever, nothing. And now what has happened is there's a huge protest movement going on. People surrounding the Northport house of the Laudrie family with signs that say, "Where is Gabby? When is she coming home? What have you done to her?" And when you see the pictures of these people in their golf carts, because it's Florida naturally, parading around on the sidewalks, in the streets in front of the Laudrie home, to the police, the Petito family has been begging the Laudrie family to give them any information they can about the disappearance of their daughter. But so far, nothing from the Laudries. Something else happened out in that part of the world where a gay couple who were married were killed in one of those national parks. And there may be connection between Gabby's disappearance and that incident, but that's a very remote situation. However, this is another case of constitutional right. Brian Laudrie does not have to speak. He has the constitutional right to stay quiet. Constitution says no person shall be compelled to incriminate himself, but you sure look guilty if you refuse to speak. And there is something wrong with that. There is something wrong with taking a position, this is my constitutional right, if you haven't done anything wrong. Then you should be obligated to speak and tell the Petite about where their child is and about whether or not she's in good shape or not such good shape. Or maybe you ran away from her and you really don't know, but you could say that too. So this is another case of constitutional rights getting in the way of helping people. But it is what it is, and it's caused major demonstrations all around Northport, Florida, to get this family, the Laudries, to step up to the plate and tell the rest of the world what's really happening or what really happened. So I look at this as a reflection of what's going on in this whole country right now. And I hope for the best. I hope that Gabby Petito is found alive and well. And if not, I hope that Brian Laudrie gets what he deserves or whatever he thinks he wants. So that's all I have for this morning, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.